Trump's White House has faced challenges from day one: the pandemic, the economic fallout, and violent protests, just to name a few. His culpability in these crises will be what historians study for generations to come. One example of this is the rise of right-wing violence. Just over a year into his term, far-right groups clashed with counter-protesters in Charlottesville, Virginia. Neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other far-right groups converged on the city in August 2017. Many wore red Trump hats, showing their support for the president. His initial response to the violence was to blame everyone equally.
You had a group on one side that was bad, and you had a group on the other side that was also very violent.
That caused a major backlash from the public and media, and he later issued a stronger response. Critics also blame the president and his rhetoric for emboldening groups like white supremacists. President Trump's last year in office saw another surge in violent protests. The killing of George Floyd, a black man, by Minneapolis police sparked demonstrations across the country. There were weeks of violence, ebbing and flowing with new instances of police killings. There are some challenges that arose during Trump's term that would be difficult no matter who was in the White House. The coronavirus outbreak, to name one. Infections and deaths soared in his final year. The healthcare system was stretched to its limits, and unemployment rates reached record highs. Months into the pandemic, veteran White House journalist Bob Woodward revealed Trump knew the dangers of the coronavirus early on. Woodward released audio from a call he had with Trump in February.
I wanted to always play it down. I still like playing it down.
Yes, sir.
Because I don't want to create a panic.
President Trump defended the call by saying he wanted to keep the economy afloat. Foreign policy was where the Trump administration claimed many victories. These include becoming the first U.S. president to step into the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. While his meetings with DPRK leader Kim Jong-un may have not amounted to much on paper, it helped turn the page on relations between Washington and Pyongyang. But his foreign policy wasn't all wins. Trump pulled out of the Climate Paris Accord, the Iran nuclear deal, and the World Health Organization in his term. He also started a trade war with China, putting a major strain on ties with Beijing. And President Trump brought the U.S. to the brink of war with Iran at the start of 2020. He ordered the killing of Iran's top general Qasem Soleimani. The assassination infuriated the Islamic Republic, with Tehran vowing retaliation. The Trump administration faced its fair share of challenges, and the effects of his decisions are likely to be felt for a long time. In the very least, a legacy of its own of what a single-term president was able to achieve. Timothy Ulrich, CGTN.